Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you are. I just wish to welcome you to the Icon IT Information Open House for AWS Solution Architect Associate and AWS DevOps Engineer. Now, it's a very, very exciting time to be around the technology space. It's an even more exciting time to be thinking about joining the space. A reason I say so is because it's important to understand what technology brings to the table and what role it plays in our everyday lives, but most importantly, what role it is going to play in your own life. So there are multiple different technologies across the technology landscape, but today I wanted to take some time to talk about the AWS technology landscape. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. And I think you've heard a lot about that, right? You probably have heard about Amazon because you order stuff online from Amazon platform. But what AWS is, it's the foundation on which Amazon, the website, runs its business. It's that foundation, which is the architecture of the technology that runs Amazon's business. We're talking about the compute systems. We're talking about the network. We're talking about, the storage systems. I'm not going to go deep into this, but I just want to give you a sense so you can really have a sense of what AWS is all about. So it's a cloud technology, and they're the leader in the cloud space, right? So this afternoon or this morning, I'm just going to be spending about an maximum an hour, probably 30, 40 minutes, just giving you a sense of what AWS is. What are the possibilities? How do you get to learn this program? How can this program help you change your life, change your economic circumstances, and change things for you and your family overall? Here at Icon IT, our goal is to keep people informed, help people make informed decisions, and be able to help guide them to a path of a successful career in the IT space. So every so often, you'll see us come online like this on the live stream. You'll see me talking about different programs. So if you're just joining us, we're excited to have you. Please go ahead and like and share this stream so other people can join and learn about these beautiful opportunities that lie there. Also, if you're watching us from YouTube, please, if you're not on YouTube, that's fine. Go to YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Join our communities on Facebook so we make sure we're always in touch and you'll be getting very valuable information from us. If you're living in these times, if you want to be something significant, if you want to change your circumstances, then you have to be connected to the IT industry. Last week, I was talking about why this industry is revolutionizing things for everybody. And I called it the new gold rush. The new gold rush, because just like over 50, 60, 70 years ago when the gold rush happened, a majority of people didn't know it was happening, right? It's the same thing today. There's a gold rush happening. There is a lot of value being generated in the IT industry. There are companies being growing every day. There are entrepreneurs starting new startups, and they are desperate to have IT staff come work for them. There is a demand. The challenge the market has today is the lack of the supply. So we are here at Icon IT to try to provide a platform, to try to provide a way by which that supply can be mitigated by giving people the skills, the knowledge, the hands-on experience to be able to challenge for some of these IT jobs, get employed, but most importantly, start making some significant income. Because I know that is one of the drivers for everybody, right? So let's get going here. So, welcome to the big leagues. If you've been watching movies when you're a kid like me, you probably recognize this guy's face. They call him Kevin Mac something. I forget the other name. He was very popular because he acted a movie called Home Alone, and this is one of the scenes in Home Alone. Now, I just brought this picture up to you to give you a sense of the surprise that is usually on the faces of many people when they get into this industry. They start working as an AWS architect or an AWS DevOps engineer, and they receive their first paycheck. It's usually a very, very heartwarming moment, but also very surprising because for most people, it's the first time in their life they're earning that kind of money on a single job at a single paycheck in 2 weeks. So This funny face really depicts that, right? So, but off the bat, welcome to the big leagues. An AWS solution architect associate average pay in the US is $121,000 a year. I didn't say that; it's what statistics say. For the DevOps engineer, an average pay per year is 125,000 US dollars averagely, and it's important to understand that if you're a DevOps engineer or an as architect associate over a 20-year career, you could easily generate about $3 million in earnings, right? So basically, that is what we're talking about here. We're talking about two AWS solutions. And professional opportunities. The first one is the AWS Architect Associate, and the second one is the AWS DevOps Engineer. And if you're just joining us, please like our channel on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, share this link, please share this link on your Facebook page, share it on your YouTube channel so more people can join us and learn of this important opportunity. It is usually said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. We are here giving very free, very important knowledge that has been changing a lot of lives. And if you're interested in changing your life, this is the place where you want to be to get some of this information and to understand what it takes to get started. Right. So this is what it is on the market now for an AWS architect associate or an AWS DevOps engineer, right? And jokes aside, our goal at Icon IT, we just help everyday people like you watching me right now, right? It doesn't matter what background you're coming from. We just help everyday people like you, just take you from zero experience to a qualified AWS solution or DevOps architect in our 6 weeks program, right? Making over $121,000 a year. And when I say this, it's no black, it's no BS. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm not trying to sell nothing to nobody. I'm just saying what has been happening. A lot of people have been taking advantage, been changing their lives. And if you're on the line listening to us today, you are going to get all the information that it takes for you to be able to leverage the opportunities that lie in front of you. You're very welcome. We're glad to have you. So how I plan to spend the next about 30 minutes with you, I want to just talk about AWS. What is AWS? We'll talk about what is a solution and DevOps architect, right? We'll talk about a day in the life of a student within the Icon IT program. When you join this program, what do you expect? How do you expect the days to be like, right? We'll talk about the professional opportunities that abound for AWS solution and DevOps architects. We'll also talk about the urgency of now. Why I believe you have to make that decision now. Why I think it's important for you not to keep postponing it, for you to make the decision, take the call, and get it taken care of now. Then we'll have some next steps. And as we go along, please, there's a chat open. Go ahead. If you have some questions, drop it on the chat, where whatever platform you're watching, we'll be able to get that. I'll be able to respond to that question as I get along. There's an open chat. Just go ahead, drop any information you have, any questions you have, please drop it on the chat and we'll be able to respond to that question as I go ahead, right? So let's keep going here. So now please, if you're watching the live stream, go ahead and stay focused at this moment, right? If you have some emails open, please close them. If you have 20 browsers like most people usually do on their laptops, including me, make sure you close them down, right? Close the door. If you have kids, ask them to be patient. Let them not kill themselves. You'll be out in the next 30 minutes and you'll talk to them, take them out for ice cream on this beautiful Saturday. All right. So let's get down to serious business here. What is AWS? When we talk about AWS, what are we talking about here, right? So basically, what we're talking about here is very straightforward and simplistic, right? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. It's the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted platform, offering over 200 features. When I talk about features, I'm talking about databases, you're talking about different functionalities, right? It's the fastest growing public cloud. And I just want to give you high level information. So we're not going deep into the weeds here. But if you've heard about cloud technology, AWS is the fastest growing public cloud technology. It's a leader in that particular space of technology, right? Has millions of customers, including fast-growing entrepreneurship businesses, established businesses that, airlines companies, the retail companies, all of these are businesses that run their systems on the AWS cloud solution. So who is an AWS Solution Architect Associate? When we talk of an AWS Solutions Architect Associate, this is the person who actually helps to manage the AWS platform, right? The architect actually tracks and covers AWS fundamentals, designing resilient architectures. Architectures are just basically the different layers of technology that connect to produce a comprehensive solution. So just take, for example, just think basically nothing too sophisticated, right? Just think about your online experience at Amazon. When you go to Amazon to order something, you go Amazon.com, pictures come up, you can search on Amazon.com. That's a functionality. The ability to search on that website, it's a functionality. Now you see the shoe you want to buy, or you see the item you want to buy, you click on that item. That's a functionality. You click on reviews to see what people who have bought that item are saying. That's a functionality, right? So the solutions architect is the one that helps on the back end to build together a resilient architecture of a storage, of a network, all those things put together. So you as the customer on the front end can be facing the Amazon.com website and shopping on it without even understanding what is going on, right? So this program actually, we designed our program with the prerequisite to understand that as an AWS architect associate, at the end of the program, we'll be able to provide you information that will and practice material that will help you be able to challenge for the AWS architect associate certification, right? This course also prepares you, as I mentioned, to take the associate certification, which is the SAACO2. So it's important to understand that because it's a certification that is important. But after the training, we are not just going to leave you alone. We'll provide you a question bank, which you could use to revise to be able to position yourself to be successful. Again, welcome. If you're just joining us, please go ahead and, subscribe to our channel, share this link wherever platform you're watching on, invite other people to join the live stream so that they can learn about this. Now, we talked about the AWS Solutions Architect. Let's talk about who a DevOps engineer is. As I mentioned to you, there are two critical roles here. There is a Solutions Architect, who is the person who builds the resilient architecture for the solution, and then we also have now the DevOps engineer. A DevOps engineer actually does everything behind the scenes. It's one of those people, if you've ever been to a concert, you will never see them standing up stage, but they're the ones making the lighting change. They're the ones making the sound come through better. They're the ones making sure the temperature of the hall is good, giving you the greatest experience you can imagine. So think about a DevOps engineer from that perspective. A DevOps engineer is a guy who is in the back end, right? He's responsible for deployment. So when different things need to be deployment means putting into the system, right? When different things need to be deployed into the system, he's responsible for that. He or she maintains and also monitors scaling, being able to help the system be able to scale according to demand. For example, if you're working for an airlines company, right? Just think about it, the technology infrastructure managing an airlines company will function at a different scale in the summer when more people are traveling than in the winter, right? Because more people will be searching for tickets online, more people will be calling customer service, more people will be trying to change their flights. All those things are handled by the online system with the underlying infrastructure of AWS on it, right? So the DevOps engineer now is the person who is actually deploying all those changes, maintaining this infrastructure, monitoring it if this infrastructure needs to be expanded a little bit so it can accommodate increase in demand from the front end website. They will monitor all of that, right? The DevOps engineer is very instrumental for code review, also for just relevant metrics and being able to make sure the system is being managed, but not only managed, but all the changes, all the deployments that need to happen in the system will happen. And please don't listen to some of these big terms I'm talking about here, deployments, CI, CD, and you get scared. Don't get scared. This is just technology. These are things that have been designed. You are not creating nothing new. You are not going there to start inventing a new process. No. As a DevOps engineer, you are managing a process that is existent with guidebooks, with guide instructions, with different things. What we really do at Icon IT is we give you the knowledge, we give you the hands-on experience, and we give you the skill set to be able to manage these different solutions when you get into any company that you succeed to get hired for. right? So don't get carried away by the big terms. Don't get scared. For most of you, I'm sure it's the first time you're hearing terms like that. And trust me, 10 years ago, when I heard terms like this too, I used to think, oh man, this thing is designed only for people who are so smart, for people who are just the A students. No, it's a big, big lie. I'm here to tell you that the IT industry is not for geeks. Yes, geeks have their space in it, but it's available for anybody who is just hungry enough and who is willing to learn something new and who is willing to pivot and most importantly, who just wants to make more money. Right? That is what we're talking about here. It's going to be a great career pivot for anybody who is interested in that. I started my career when I came to the US as a nursing assistant. I moved on to become a nurse. I went down to business school in Berkeley before coming around to joining the IT industry. So I'm just trying to say by this that whatever it is you're doing with your life, it doesn't mean you cannot fit into this space. This space is designed for everyday people like you and me. The only difference between you and anybody else who doesn't succeed, I'm saying you because you online are already succeeding. By joining this call, it means you're hungry and you want to change something. The only difference is being consistent, number one, and taking action, number two. Getting enrolled for a class and getting started with this, right? You need to understand that the human mind, the human spirit is very resilient. The human being can learn anything new they want to learn. That's why for most people living in America today, most people living in America from different parts of the world, about 60 to 70% of them are doing something totally different from what they studied along their lives. Right? And the reason why that happens, it proves to you once more that the human spirit is resilient. The human spirit can learn things new. The human spirit can transform itself. The human being is not a tree. If you try one thing, it doesn't work, you try the other thing, right? That's how a lot of people have been able to benefit from the IT industry and from opportunities like this. All right. So we're glad to have you. So what's a day in the life of a student? When you enroll in one of the courses here at Icon IT for AWS Solutions Architect or for the AWS DevOps Engineer, what is a day in the life going to be like for you? What do you expect from this course? How does it work? So it's a 5-weekend program. We hold the program on the weekends for 5 weekends, on Saturdays and on Sundays, from 9 a.m. in the morning to 1 p.m. both days for 5 weekends, a cumulative of over 30 hours of of virtual live instructor-led program. The second thing to understand is that you have weekly assignments. We'll give you weekly assignments and we'll give you SOPs. SOPs is a standard operating procedure, which are guidelines on how to work those assignments. And by doing that, you are also having practice, right? We'll give you hands-on real-life practice exercises where you create systems, you create databases, you create connections, you create buckets, you create S3 storage buckets, you connect the E2 computer system, a processing system to the different databases, and you do all these different things that you normally expected to do in a real life job environment. Our training is very focused on hands-on and knowledge-based training. That is why it's possible for an everyday person who doesn't have no experience in IT to come into trainings like this and be able to get up to speed in a few short weeks. The reason why is because the training certainly is intense, but it's also customized to give you the knowledge, to give you the skill which is relevant for the job industry that you'll be working with as an AWS solutions architect or an AWS DevOps engineer, right? We'll also provide you a question bank to be able to help you revise questions that will usually come in the certification. And for reasons of clarity, Icon IT doesn't offer AWS certifications. We are not sanctioned to deliver certifications. There are websites on the AWS website who will be able to guide you, show you where you can go register for your certification and take your certification and clear your certification. Our job at Icon IT is to give you the knowledge, to give you the skill, and to give you support materials from my experience and from the experience of other people that are questions that you can revise. And amongst those 250 questions, we'll give you about 70 of them will come through during the certification exam. And you can clear your certification from there and then keep moving now with your career. That's our own way of supporting you during this program. So What is the training all about? Just like I mentioned, the training is going to be able to. So we have two separate trainings. We're starting off on the 18th of June, and I'll share that information with the AWS Solutions Architect training, and that will be followed by the DevOps training. Right. So, what the AWS Certified DevOps Engineer training, right? It's just designed to help prepare the AWS Certified DevOps Engineers, right? The curriculum for this training, we'll share that with you certainly once you align, but it's basically just touching on all the different key points for a DevOps engineer, which includes deployment techniques, CI, CDs, understanding the automated deployments, and all those different things, right? So we actually customize this training to be able to get you up to speed and put you on the path to success as soon as possible, right? So why AWS, you would ask me. Many people usually ask me this question, just a second. Many people usually ask me this question, why AWS? Yes, why do you spend time talking about AWS? And it's very obvious, right? There are more regions and locations worldwide for the AWS cloud. It's a technology leader in its cloud space. Its focus towards customers is second to none, right? Most companies uses it. This is a slide on the trends, right? And this is just Google Trends calculation. You have AWS in blue, you have Azure in red, and you have GCP, which is Google's own cloud platform, in yellow. And you can see how where AWS stands, right? AWS is the clear leader. It's way ahead of everybody. According to Google Trends, 68% of the market opts for AWS because it's the most secure platform as compared to others. 68% means if 100 people are looking for a cloud solution to run their business, a cloud platform on which to lay their infrastructure and run their business, 68 of those 100 people will choose Google. Will choose AWS, right? This is the growth in the AWS DevOps specifically, right? Engineering industry. Why do companies want them? This graph just represents the growth of AWS DevOps increasing day by day. More and more companies are moving their solutions onto these AWS platforms. And when they are moving it onto these AWS platforms, automatically they need people who understand the AWS technology to help them manage their business, right? And that's where the game really changes, right? This is a statistic on just job opportunities for AWS solution architects and AWS DevOps architects, right? Basically, just you can see the graph. The graph just keeps going up. This is about 2018 to 2020. The movement is incredible. In fact, it's been projected that the growth for AWS related jobs for architect, associate, and DevOps engineers is going to grow by about 24 to 28% over the next 10 years. What that means is year over year, there'll be an increase of, let's say there are 100 jobs on the market, there'll be an increase of 24 more jobs. So that will be 124. And then you take that 124 and have another 24% increase on that. You see how mathematically it starts becoming great, right? It's no longer a mathematical operation. Now it becomes now a geometric operation because it starts growing in leaps and bounds. So you should be asking yourself, Mr. Hachu, why are you telling me all of these things? How does that relate to me when companies want to use AWS? They like it. This is where it relates to you. I want you to just take a look at the slide. This is why I've been spending time talking about it to you, because of the job opportunities that are available. This is a basic search on Indeed I did, right? Indeed is just one of the job sites in the US and North America where people can get IT jobs and apply for, right? This is a search for AWS solution architect. That 33,280 jobs available. What this means is that 33,000 openings that companies have, they are desperate. They are crying. They are begging every day for somebody to come in and help them. So what we're trying to do is to give you the skill, to give you the knowledge, to give you the confidence to be able to connect with opportunities like that and start making 120,000, 130,000 and moving on with your life and changing the destiny for your families, right? On the DevOps architect, on the AWS DevOps engineer side, there are 28,773 jobs sitting available and waiting for somebody to come claim them. So when I'm talking to you about the little background of AWS, I'm talking to you about why AWS is the number one solution, why AWS is the company that all other businesses want to talk to. I'm talking to you about that because of the possibilities that lie. The more companies use AWS solutions, the more companies need people who know how to work with AWS solutions to come and work with them. And that is where you come into play. That is why you're high in demand. That is why they need AWS solution architects and they need AWS DevOps engineers like yesterday. So if you're thinking about this, if you've ever thought about the time to join the IT industry to become a solution architect, associate, or a DevOps engineer, I'm telling you, there's no better time than now, right? There is no better time than now. Now you'll be asking me where lies the opportunities for this, right? And most of the platforms, there are a lot of different platforms where you can apply for jobs, right? But the most common ones is LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, we have Glassdoor, we have Indeed. Those are the most common ones, right? Where you can go and be able to see these jobs and apply for them and get interaction and get interviews. But what companies actually hire AWS architects and AWS DevOps engineers, right? Here we're talking about industries. We're not even talking about companies. We're talking about the banking industry, like Bank of America, the top global banks, pharmaceutical, Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline, automobile industry, Tesla, Toyota, Tesla. I live in Austin, Texas, and Tesla is opening one of its biggest factories in Austin, right? I know their systems run on AWS. They will be needing AWS solutions architects. They'll be needing AWS DevOps engineers to help them. I know that. I'm not a magician. I don't need to spin a crystal ball to see the future. I'm just looking at what is happening because they need people to help them, right? Fast-moving consumable goods like Walmart, Kroger, Target, airlines industry, American Airlines, Southwest, other international airlines, they are all looking for people like you. They are all asking someone like you sitting out there and listening to me this morning, what are you doing? What is holding you back, right? Now, what is the urgency of now? Why am I taking a Saturday morning, waking some of you up from sleep, maybe if you just woke up, and taking your time this morning where you could have been doing something and insisting on you to pay attention to me? This is why. Why is the urgency of now, right? AWS solutions architects earn an average of 121,000, right? And 13,000 higher than the average salary of the top 15 IT certified professionals. The national average for DevOps engineers is 125 in the US, of course, because that's the biggest market that employs these engineers, right? Experienced solutions architects and DevOps engineers earn up to 180,000 per year, right? Over 38,000 jobs available to be filled, and I showed that to you. We also have the non-renewal of the H-1B visa, reducing the pool of talent available in the market. This is a very important element too, because it's forcing companies to look for talent in the United States, within the geographical borders. That's what I mean, of the US and Canada. So it makes it more possible for companies to be able to find the talent in the US. And so for people who are in the US or in Canada right now and who are listening to this, you have a little bit of an edge on that point. But of course, companies hire from around the world. But I say from that perspective, you might have a little bit of an edge, right? So it's important to understand why you have to make that decision and why you have to make the decision now. The urgency of now. How important it is to just go ahead and make that decision. Don't postpone it for next week. Don't postpone it for next month. Don't postpone it for next year. Just make the decision now about how you want the next few months of your life to look by. This is our goal. When I come online on a live stream like this on a Saturday morning to talk to you, I just want to give you information that is life changing, that can transform things for you, right? In terms of equipment you need for this class, with equipment you need for the AWS class, it's nothing complicated. As long as you have a functioning laptop and you have consistent, strong internet connectivity, that's all you need, right? And your computer, you just need some basic 10 Windows 10. You need about 8 gigabytes of memory, 500 gigabytes of storage. But if your laptop doesn't have this specifications, please don't panic. It's okay. You just need a working laptop and you need internet, because the applications you'll be using are mostly online and you need to connect to this application and create databases and create different things on these platforms. So this is information about the next class that is coming up, right? The AWS Certified Architect Associate class will be coming up on the 18th of June and it runs till the 17th of July. And immediately after that, the week after that, we will start the AWS DevOps Engineer class, and that will run from July 23rd to August 14th, right? And the cost of the class is $499 per class. So the AWS Architect Associate is $499. The AWS DevOps Engineer is $499. The cost of the certification is paid directly to the certification board certifying you for these programs so that we can provide that information in the course of the program once you join. And to be able to join the program, all we need, if you're ready to get started, because we take very limited numbers. And the reason why we take limited numbers, we take only 15 people. And the reason why we do that is because we want to give them an experience that is worthy of their time, but most importantly, that can put you in the position to challenge and get a job. Our goal with these programs is a knowledge to job program. Our goal with this program is not just to give people new knowledge, it's to give people knowledge that they can act on and earn a living of that. It's important to understand. So if you're thinking about it, please don't think about it too long, because by the time you get to us, it might be too late. Here's our contact information. You can reach out to me on 763-291-7145. Here's the email. You can use this for Cash App or for Zelle. This is Zelle information or Cash App. But I'll need your email address, I'll need your phone number and your full names in order for you to be able to register and start this program on the 18th of June. We are here sitting on the 4th of June, so in exactly 2 weeks, we'll be starting. If you know exactly what is important for you, it's something you want to do, please don't hesitate. Go ahead and register as soon as possible, because this fills up really fast, and I would hate to tell anybody, I'm sorry, you have to wait till the next session of the class. All right? So if you're having any questions, please drop it in the chat. Again, we're happy to have everyone online today. We are really, really excited. We're glad you're here, right? We are very, very excited you are joining us today for this live stream. I hope it's been very, very educative for you. It's made some sense for you. I just want to remind each and every one of you that it is possible. Your dream is possible. If you're thinking about changing the circumstances of your life, if you've been asking yourself why there is always a lot more months after the money, if you've been asking yourself, what are you going to be doing for the next 25 years of your life? Do I like my job enough to want to stay there for 25 years? If you've been going to work every Monday and complaining, the health department data states that there are more heart attacks in the US on Monday mornings between 8 to 9 than any other time or any other day during the week. I'm sure the reason is because people go to jobs ahead. So they wake up in the morning and the heart attacks them. Didn't I tell you not to go to that job again? Right? And the heart attacks them and says, hey, slow it down. I told you not to go to that job again. You still went ahead and went to that job, right? But anyways, that was just a light-hearted joke. But I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon. I pray that you certainly leave us your name, leave us your phone number, please. I'm going to be dropping a link on the join our WhatsApp group, our Facebook page, please. Go ahead. If you're watching on Facebook, just click and join our Facebook group. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Please share our links to other people. Invite them. On Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be having another live stream. This time is going to be for Scrum Masters, for those who are interested in the Scrum Master program. And then we'll do for this same AWS program, let me take it all over. On Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 9:30 Eastern Time, we're going to be doing another live stream on the AWS program. So we'll be talking through the AWS solutions and AWS DevOps engineering program just to educate more people. So if you know people who might be interested in this, share this link with them. Please share the invitation link with them so that I might join the next live stream, which is going to be happening on Tuesday night. We are glad to have you online with us today. I hope and I believe that this has been important information to you. And the one thing I will tell you right now before leaving you, please don't think about it too much. Make that decision, engage, like it's always said, jump and your parachute is going to open. All right? If you don't jump, your parachute will not open. It's as simple as that. Jump and your parachute is going to open. Make the decision, share your name and your email, get enrolled into the class, get enrolled in the program, and get going. There is nobody sitting out there, including myself, talking to you today as an IT professional for the last 10 years. There was a time too I listened on like you're listening today, and it didn't make sense to me. It sounded like Greek. I looked at it and I was thinking to myself, boy, I need to be a genius to understand this. But the only thing that made sense to me was my circumstance because I couldn't lie to nobody. I felt the pain in me. I knew exactly that at that point in my life, I had to change something. At that point, I was 36 years old. I was 35 years old, actually. And I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, Gustav, when you were coming to America at the age of 23, young, handsome, a lot of hair on your head, a big dream in your heart, a lot of ambition on your shoulder. I don't think your plan was to be where you are right now at 35. I said, yes, that's true. That wasn't my plan. I am where I am at that point, but I knew I had a choice to be where I wanted to be by making certain hard decisions, right? I looked in front of the mirror one day and I asked myself, Gustav, let's say your dad calls you and says, my son, I need $5,000. I am sick. I need to go to the hospital. Do I have $5,000 somewhere I could give him? Or I'll need to call somebody to borrow that money from? And when I realized I had to call to borrow, I told myself the plan I was working on doesn't work. The plan is not working, and I'm not going to continue with that plan. That's how I got aligned into the IT industry. My cousin sent me some information. I was talking to him one day. He sent me his paycheck, what he made at that time as an Oracle database administrator. I looked at it, I packed my bags. 4 days later, I jumped into a 300,000 miles old Honda Accord, and I found my way in Maryland where I did some training and I was able to align myself with the industry. And 10 years after that, I'm able to sit here and be able to encourage you, try to bring you in, try to talk to you about the possibilities that lie ahead. So don't try to understand. You don't know what you don't know. You only know what you would know when you give yourself an opportunity to be taught that, right? Our job will be to teach you the skill, the knowledge, and everything. Your job is to make the decision, register for the class, align, let's get going. So I'm glad to have each and every one of you online. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. If you are somewhere where it's the afternoon, if it's the night time for you, have a good night. I mean, it's the morning for you like it is for me. Please have a great day ahead. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. Stay in touch. Join our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let's get rolling here. Have a good one. Bye for now.